Hi, Dan Sussman here. We're going to talk a little more in this presentation about modals and related expressions. You may have seen an earlier presentation I did telling basically what modals are. Now we're going to look a little bit more about how we form sentences using modals. Okay, just to revisit, a modal is a word that adds meaning, usually the speaker's attitude to the verb that follows it. Very often we use it in the case of recommendations or opinions. So, we should come to class on time. The base verb there is come, but by putting the modal should in front of it, it shows that that it's a recommendation, that it's like, well, maybe we can, maybe we can't, maybe we do, maybe we don't, but by saying should, I'm saying it's a good idea to do this. You must arrive by 10 a.m., okay? The main verb there is arrive, but by saying you must arrive, I'm indicating that this is not an optional kind of thing. Must means you have to. You are obligated. So, it adds more information to that main verb arrive. To form modals can be a little bit tricky in different tenses and different voices, but let's start off with the basics here. The structure for using modals in the simple tenses is the modal plus the base form of the verb. And that thing about the base form of the verb is important. You'll see the example. I say, I might eat dinner after the show. Well, might implies that this is something that I might do that I could possibly do in the future. But I still use the base form of the main verb eat. So I say, I might eat dinner after the show. I do not say, I will eat dinner after the show. Will eat is not right there. If I say they could not attend the show last night, excuse me, the modal is could not. The base form of the verb is attend. Okay, it's in the past, but I do not say they could not attended the show last night. I stick with the base form of the verb attend. Some common modals that I'm sure you've seen, but just to go over it again: can, could, may, might, should, must, would, will, and of course negative versions of some of those words: can, cannot, or can't, could, couldn't, and so on and so forth. And here are some related expressions. So if you see the expression have to, it means the same thing as must. Have got to also means must, same thing. Be able to, same thing as can. Supposed to, that's an obligation. It's a little less firm than must. It's something that you're expected to do. Be allowed to and permitted to both mean to have permission, and ought to is the same thing as recommended. Again, modals are kind of a big subject, and if you're in my Grammar 4 class, particularly those classes at Glendale Community College in Glendale, Arizona, I recommend, if you want to know more, that you look back at chapters 9 and 10 in Understanding and Using English Grammar, 4th edition by Azar and Hagen, which is the textbook that we use.